The wild ramps are everywhere. We'll learn how to pick them and use them. Hello everyone, I'm Don Jacobs and I'm here along the beautiful Delaware River in Wayne County. But I'm not here to fish. We're gonna go wild with Discover NEPA, learning about leeks, AKA ramps. Who are we gonna learn from? Steve Schwartz.
My business is Delaware Valley Ramps, and we're located in Equinunk, Pennsylvania, the absolute northeast corner of Pennsylvania. We're on the Delaware River where it starts, about 4 miles south of Hancock, New York. So there are 10 acres of ramps here. This doesn't look like a wild patch anymore. If you go into a wild forest patch, you see clumps that are coming up. They're 20, 30, 40 ramps all coming out of like some kind of mother center. And they're all clones of a ramp that have expanded by bulb division. The tool of choice is what's called a drain spade. I call it a long nose shovel because unlike most of Wayne County, this is an amazing soil. There are no rocks. There is 5 feet of sandy, loamy topsoil. So you don't need a pickaxe to pull the ramps out.
Steve says that he looks for 3 leaves on a ramp, leaving the 1 and 2 leaf ramps behind to mature.
We put the shovel in about 2 inches or so from the plant. We do it at a kind of angle like this. We step on it and lever it up. And in this case, we want to make sure that we don't take the baby.
All right.
We're going to just try to take the plant.
So that's going to get bigger this season yet?
Oh yeah, this is still tiny. The first stage we call the pencil stage. So the stem is still skinny, like a pencil. In a few weeks, the stem will swell out and become teardrop shape. The plant will be this big.
Okay.
The leaves will be bigger. So you can eat the leaves. You can eat the leaves fresh at this stage. They're very delicious. In salads, you can grill them. You can eat the bulb.
What does this taste like?
Well,
Does it taste like a garlic? Does it?
have a taste.
It is a combination between a scallion and I even get a garlic little kick. So it's got both of them going on.
Tastes like a combination of garlic, mild garlic and onion.
Yeah.
We make ramp quiche for everybody. And our favorite use of them during the season for fresh preparations. But since the season is so short, we also like to do things that will allow us to enjoy the ramps throughout the year. Pickled ramps.
Okay.
Our house drink is Rampatini.
I'll take a dirty Rampatini, please.
Martini with a
absolutely.
pickled ramp in it.
I get it.
Ramp pesto we make for pasta, and it freezes really well.
Steve is a transplant from New York City and had been traveling to this section of the river for 45 years to fish. And then he decided to buy something for himself and found this property. His education about ramps began shortly after.
That fall, I'm walking around with my neighbor and he says, "You see those little black BBs over there?" And I said, "Yeah." And he says, "Those are ramp seeds." And I look around and they're all over the place. So the next spring, I'm still living in New York City. I come up, the ramps are coming up everywhere. And I talk to some of my chef friends and I say, "Could we trade some ramps for dinner?" And they say, "Sure." And at the end of that season, they say, "Stephen, it's too difficult to remember how much we owe you. Next year, we're just going to buy them." And so in 2009, I started selling ramps to restaurants in New York City.
Several years ago, Steve started inviting the public and restaurants to pick their own. He called it Ramps You Pick.
Ramps You Pick is an experience where people come, they get a couple of hours to learn how to identify them, how to select the ones to harvest, how to dig them up, and then how to process them, store them, and use them in dishes at home.
Depending on the weather, the season is usually the last week of April until the third week of May. A city boy picking ramps along the beautiful stretch of the Delaware River. That sounds to me like a perfect story.
It is my story.
So call them what you like. Wild leeks, ramps. All I know is Steve Schwartz knows a lot about them, and we got to say thank you for the education. I'm going to take some of these home and fry them up. Who knows? Maybe in an omelet tomorrow morning for breakfast. Now, for this episode of Go Wild with Discover NEPA and all the other episodes, you can go to DiscoverNEPA.com or subscribe on YouTube.